Hey everyone, so I'm back. Um, I think the last message was like dream interpretation that I did, and that was like a week ago. But life happens, and in the process of that, I actually discovered that I was channeling a very ancient book of wisdom. So even if the messages, these previous videos seem harsh, they were the honest truth. And that is like some ancient wisdom that was being poured down. But whatever. Neither here or there. I wanted this video to be about currently what the full, I keep saying full moon. So maybe we feel like releasing stuff, but it's a new moon in Leo, and the energy of Leo is burning away things, which fire is a form of initiation in which you burn something and can actually create. That's what sacral energy is, creative energy, but it's also fire energy. So let's just see, let's just see what Spirit wants us to know in regards to the new moon in Leo coming up. Okay. Calling upon the uplifted ancestors, angels and guides of everyone watching this video, as well as everyone who will watch this video. Thank you for the answers need to know for their highest best self, as well as protection from all sorts of circumstances, negative energies, entities seen and unseen. So just shuffling, I'm seeing that if you've been in a state of survival mode, or the people surrounding you as well may have also been in a state of survival mode, just know there is victory coming to you, but it comes when you have more control of self. I'm hearing more dominion over self, so this is giving magician energy as well. Also, Archangel Michael is coming through in this reading, so if you have any kind of issue, you can also pray to him for divine intercession. I said intercession, so we are ascending, which is part of being forced into survival mode and to have more control over self. But we need to balance the two and being practical so we can step up in the ways that Spirit is asking us to for this new moon in Leo. So what does everyone need to be aware of regarding this new moon in Leo? So a lot of people may be feeling shame or impoverished or rejected by their peers. Yeah, partnerships in reverse. But just know God will never reject you. Like, your ancestors aren't going to reject you. I don't know. I'm going to see what actually comes out the deck. Spirit, what does everyone need to know for their highest best selves right now? Yeah, and pray to Archangel Michael. He's saying if you feel any sense of shame or emptiness, because that's coming from insecurities as well as boundaries, right? When people infiltrate our boundaries to make us feel insecure, that's just projection now, because they don't know how to, again, control their own energy. They're being manipulative and deceitful. So as long as you know that you are not living intendedly like that, all you can do is have control over self. Yeah. All right. Spirit, what does everyone need to know in regards to the full moon? I keep saying full moon. So definitely releasing, maybe we're releasing our inner child, releasing the problems that we've had with our inner child, healing our inner child. Inner child energy is actually Leo energy as well. So we could also be healing our imagination as well. This new moon coming into new faculties in our imagination, I'm hearing. Yeah, because now we have shadow self. Clarify this imagination card, Spirit, in regards to what everyone needs to know. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people's inner child have allowed them to become drained with life, as well as act in a more devilish way, in a form of vengeance and spite, right? You know, when someone's like, you're being childish, that's what they're talking about. When you act out of spite, actually, I'll tell you exactly what it is, because I was like, wow, I got information. So, forms of being childish is when you act from a state of ignorance, grief, lack of self-control, like I said, desire, injustice, greed, deceit, envy, treachery, anger, being too rash, or malice. And that's what I'm saying. Once you have control over self and these behaviors, I feel like that's when a lot of these new beginnings that the community is looking for will actually occur. So Spirit King, yeah, look, new beginnings, but it's in the reverse. So there is a need to release. It's almost like Leo energy does give full moon energy. I guess that's why I keep saying full moon. But the new moon is needing you to release this childish energy so you can return to your divinity, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. All right. Spirit, clarify this imagination. Clarify this imagination, please, Spirit. Woo! Yes. Alright, so I'm seeing two different energies. So you may be in need of an ego death because you have not been taking care of your priorities. And if you haven't been taking care of your priorities, of course you're going to feel empty. And we have Archangel Michael here twice with the feathers coming through. I feel like a lot of the lack of surrendering to spirit as well and to your guardian angels is because, again, of these insecurities, these boundaries, and then also integrity. So if you're not acting with integrity, of course you need an ego death, because who the fuck, like, do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Honestly. And then we have family in reverse. This is also our peace of mind. So this is also why we're needing more control of self, because ideally you can only control yourself in this world. But if you don't have a peace of mind, all of the actions in which that you navigate this world, they're coming from survival mode again, right? When you're not in a state of peace. So that's why it's also important to ground yourself. I feel like, with the Leo energy too, it's very vibrant, right? It's like fast-paced fire energy. It's like, how they say spitfire, it's fast, right? But you need to learn to ground yourself even as you're moving forward in new beginnings, because I feel like what should be excitement turns into fear as well. That's also what that shadow is fear. Why? And then we have so this is also like a surprise card, so we could also be possibly seeing more surprises from our family that don't give us a peace of mind. So I mean, you can't, how they say, like, you don't get to choose your family. You do technically before you incarnate, but you're already stuck with them, right? So you have to be careful in the partnerships that you link up with, right? If someone is not appreciating you, or they're diminishing your value, they're not giving you your flowers, they're blocking your blessings with this in reverse, 9 times out of 10, that's not your family. Family, soul family, whatever it may be, that's not for you. They're blocking you. Let's see. Yep. So again, if you are operating in survival mode, of course you're going to be in a state of confusion, because you'll only know how to operate in allowing people to pull you from your blessings, from your higher self, your highest best judgment. That's why you have to have more control and dominion over self, so that way all of your actions are in alignment for you, not with what this person thinks or what this person wants to give you, but what God wants to give you, right? Because as long as you stay in your straight and narrow path, there is illumination. This illumination I'm hearing is enlightenment, is okay, and they're saying with enlightenment comes blessings. So you have to stay in tune with your higher self in order to do this. Yeah. Woo! Alright, let's just, so many energies coming through. So what do our uplifted ancestors want to say about the Leo new moon? Okay, so we could be having DNA upgrades, but only if we learn to adapt. There was another card showing that there's a need to adapt instead of operating in survival mode, right? We know that naturally evolution comes when you adapt, but you cannot evolve into your highest best self or a new way of being until you adapt. And in adapting, you need to plant positive seeds, positive thoughts, growth. Yeah, look. And your ancestors want to help you do this. So if you feel like, I don't know which way to turn to your ancestors. They're going to assist you. Someone's grandfather's coming through. Yeah, they're assisting you so you can, again, sorry, bees love high frequency, and this bee keeps coming for me. So again, your ancestors are helping you to become the magician. That's also what I said. When you take dominion over self, you become the magician to manifest what you desire in your life. Especially for a lot of divine femmes, they're bringing up divine feminine energy and the need to nurture. You may also need to nurture your children with that inner child coming up. Give your children more love in Leo season. Have more fun with them. Like school's about to be back in session. Appreciate your children. What do our uplifted ancestors want to say in regards to the Leo new moon? Okay. Interesting. So I got 3 cards. So first we have air. Your ancestors are again reminding you to ground, right? Remember when I said you're in a state of survival mode, you cannot operate efficiently, right? So breath work is advised at this time. This breath work will help you stay in tune with the universe. This actually looks exactly like the Eye of God photo. I'm probably going to put that as the thumbnail for this video because the synchronicities, whoa. But when you attune to your breath, that actually attunes you to spirit and realizing there is no rush. There is no actual emergency, so that way you can be more in alignment. And when we say alignment, we're like talking about the stars. We're not like, oh, I'm in alignment for today. You're in alignment with the cycles of life, so that way you can adapt and connect with your spirit guides. You may also be seeing birds. And they're asking you to remember the power of nature and nature's ability to adapt, to give you almost like a structured way of adaptation. Nature naturally adapts, so why would you resist adaptation? Nature is continuously thriving and growing, and it's only through adaptation. And if you want to continue to thrive and grow, you have to adapt. Adaptation is change. You have to be accepting and willing to change. And then at the bottom of the deck we have boundaries too. So continue to enforce boundaries. I'm also seeing crows, so there's a lot of messages coming through, a lot of energy coming through. But spirit is again asking you to move forward in your life and exploring. No matter how scary and fearful, like you see she has this walking stick, but she's staying stagnant because the waters are still. Oh my God, look, flow. I said the waters are staying still. You cannot stay stagnant, you must flow. That's how you get freedom. If you want to be a real free spirit, you have to flow with life, and that's going to take courage. Also, That's going to take you to learn how to balance your masculine energy with the authority coming up. You cannot be overly controlling with that masculine energy. Naturally, men want to dictate. They want to control. But Spirit right now is asking again for you to use nature as your mentor and guide, so that way you may ascend. Just like I said, right? Ascension is rough, right? When you think of a rock climber and they're climbing rocks, the journey is not something that is easy, right? You struggle, but you still rise. And that's also part of learning how nature adapts, to see how even despite when you're struggling, there's still an opportunity to rise. All right, that boundary card. Okay, and the second energy was musician. So I definitely feel my throat. Yeah, I feel like sound baths or music in general will help you. Look at these birds. So you may be seeing hummingbirds, owls, because I see a hummingbird twice in these cards. You may be seeing these animals, and that's just an indication again that Spirit is asking you to ground yourself. You can also ground yourself in music. You don't always have to go and sit underneath a tree. There's different forms of meditation, but it's you taking that time to intentionally ground yourself in your energy. And then also someone needs to reconnect with their intuition, but the only way to do that is to connect with your instinct. And your instinct is actually solar plexus energy. That's also that boundary energy. So if you have weak boundaries, of course your instinct and your intuition is going to be off, because there's going to be so much projection that you will not have an inner direction. Let me say that again. There's going to be so much projection that you do not have inner direction when you do not have boundaries. So this is also why you need to be careful of the words people cast upon you as well. So if you're talking shit about someone, or someone's talking shit about you, you need to put that boundary, boo. And I know for myself, people that I don't know, or people that you even do know, they talk shit. And it's not to say let them, but you can't do it in my face. You can't stay in my face and continue to berate my boundaries, because you have a lack of self, a lack of control of self. That has nothing to do with me. You do not allow others to impede your destiny, is what I'm hearing. That's also part of that Leo energy. It seems that is masculine energy, where it seems like a sense of ego. However, sometimes our ego is there to protect us, and it's not in a way of being overly controlling of others, but controlling ourselves. Okay? So let's just see the emotions that we could be feeling for this Leo new moon. Okay, yeah, definitely seeing new beginnings, but you have to have more trust and faith in them. You may be feeling scared again, like I said. This card just flew out. Yeah, someone's afraid to be open and seek. The only way that you can try new experiences is by being open. You cannot lock down because of the past. That's part of adapting, is knowing, now that I have this knowledge and wisdom, I have a new boundary. I'm just saying, thanks, Spirit. You have this new knowledge, this new wisdom to apply, and that helps you adapt rather than being closed off. Yeah. Definitely seeing a need, again, just breathe, to step back, breathe, release any anxiety. You know, again, I'm keep getting this feeling like this fire energy, You know, when you're like overly excited but it turns into anxiety, you're supposed to use that fuel as passion and not something to burn yourself down. You can burn yourself down with passion. Believe and succeed. That's what I said. Use it as fuel. Fuel like a rocket. Shoot up to the stars. Don't allow yourself to burn down. Not unless you need an ego death, but that's something else. Okay. What are the feelings and emotions we could be I'm sorry. What are the feelings and emotions we could be feeling with this Leo new moon? Oh, someone's in love. So we're feeling love. We're again feeling an ego death, transformation. There could also be actual deaths. Now that I pulled the death card twice, so just beware and knowing that if someone does pass away in this season, it is only the death of the physical body. If you can see, this is someone's soul being liberated from that death. So even if this is a physical or ego death, it's a form of liberation. Do not see it as something to be scared of. And again, Spirit's asking you to spread your wings, step out, go forward in your new beginning. You do need to balance, again, that sense of masculine and feminine energy with the number 2. The 2 is almost the feminine energy, and again, going back to the Magician, when you are centered in self, then you move to the number 2 and balancing and knowing how to work with other energies, so that way you can be balanced and grounded as you spread your wings to these new beginnings, especially if you're looking for new love. And again, if you've been having problems in love and marriage and all this stuff, don't ignore the red flags. You know how to look for them now. Even if this love is not just romantic, if it's platonic, you know now. Spirit, can I get another card in regards to the emotions we could be feeling with this Leo new moon? Yeah. Someone's feeling detached, and again, if you feel detached, why you do that? So if you feel detached from your emotions, that's going to actually detach you from your highest self. Because it is only through our emotional state that we actually connect with our wisdom, if that makes sense. What else are the emotions and feelings that we could be feeling during this Leo new moon? Oh, I told y'all, sacral energy, but it's in reverse. So I feel again that there is a lot of anxiety surrounding this fire energy. It's actually like endings for beginnings, right? You have to let go of the past, close the door, close whatever chapter so you can move forward. And this is also, wow, sorry. Now we have the number 2, 2. Again, balance will bring stability. And you could also be seeing 2, 2, 2. I'm also hearing the number 4. But when you balance yourself, your feminine, your masculine energy, you become a creator. So that's also what this Leo energy is about. Leo people are very creative. They're usually people who draw, who are always invested in some kind of art. They're musicians as well, so you could also even be a musician. But in order to move to that state of becoming living art, right, you need to balance yourself to go in the flow, so that way you are not in stagnant waters. And again, the reason why I brought up your emotions, if you look, this guy is touching his heart. Your emotions are a compass to what you desire. They only are a guide. They're not a way in which you move, but they are a way for which you see. And if you see this guy's eyes are closed, right? He's looking down because he's not in tune with his emotions. He's looking at the reflection, actually. And if you are in such a reflective state that you don't know how to move forward, and you will make yourself stagnant. Life always goes on. You cannot detach emotionally. Look, 10 and 11. Life goes on. Divine timing. Learn your karmic lessons. Accept them for what they are, so that way you can adapt. All right. I'm sorry if I'm sweating. It's hot as fuck. All right, so let's just get into how we can adapt right now for this Leo moon. How can the collective adapt? Look, ancestral wisdom. So first off, again, tap into your ancestors. Go sit with them, connect with them, speak to them, ground yourself. Grounding yourself is so imperative. And if you keep seeing trees, do you know why? Because trees are grounded, right? If you ever seen, you can't push a tree, right? But they still know how to flex and pull when the winds come. The winds are actually change. The winds of change. When change comes, you have to learn to be flexible. That's adaptation. And then they're also bringing up trees, again, going back to networking, right? When you close yourself off and detach, how do you expect to network with others, to branch out? Look, you're not alone at the bottom of the deck. I didn't even see that. So you want connection and community and support, but you also have to balance and release the past in order to do so. They're saying give gratitude. Rejection is protection, always, right? With this boundaries card, right? Rejection is protection. Anyway, how can the collective adapt right now? Okay, so we have give back. Today is the day to cast aside normal routines and make your main purpose to serve. Serve spirit, right? And the only way to do that is through your highest best self. No one really knows what that means for anyone else. That's why you have to tune into your heart to see what that means for you. And it can be something that changes. Because just like everything in life, the only constant is change. So they're saying it's about giving back without expectation or getting anything in return. Reach out and touch other people's spirit. It's highly likely that someone else needs it. And that's also why I think they brought up networking, because you never know the connection. I'm getting chills right now too. You never know the type of connection and joy that you bring just through networking and connecting with someone. 9 times out of 10, it comes with a purpose. And then we have find your center. The world is a reflection and manifestation of what's going inside you at this moment. And I don't know, where did I put the cards? Where did I put these cards? Here it is. I said, look at him, he's looking at the reflection, right? If all you're looking at is what you're reflecting on and you're staying stuck in your mind, you're going to be moving with this reflection instead of with your heart's desires. And the heart actually works with your sacral desires. I always talk about using the flame of passion to ignite your heart's desires. You cannot do that when you are in a state of reflection, because you are not moving. Fire is the opposite of water, right? Just like masculine and feminine energies, you need to balance your internal self so you can continue to be in the flow. And in order to do that, to find that balance, you need to find your center. So they're saying your outside is a reflection and manifestation of what's going on inside you at this time. When the outside world becomes so hectic and stressful that your anxiety, that's why I keep feeling like crazy anxiety, starts to overwhelm you, this is an ideal moment to stop and ask, when was the last time I checked in with myself? So definitely meditate with this Leo new moon And I suggest as well, like I'm hearing, to write a list of 3 things that you want to either manifest or achieve by the end of the year. Because what month are we in? July or something? Okay, so we're past the halfway mark of the year, right? So you're only halfway through with the year. You still have time, but you only have that time if you're willing to move forward. Yes. And then also, if you need support, get it. Love is also coming up. And I just remembered again, I think Leo rules over the heart. So this is why a lot of our emotions and our connections are coming up as well. Because we are trying to attune to love right now. And this card also says love is the foundation of your existence. And you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving. That's also what that give back card is, right? Do you see how these two balance themselves, right? And you see all the flowers. You could also be seeing roses. If you know, rose is actually the most sacred form of flowers, connecting to the frequency of love as well. If you need some love, go and get yourself some roses and sit down with yourself and your ancestors and tap into what you actually love, whether that's your kids, whether that's music, whatever it is. Do what you love in this moment. Do not allow your past to keep you from what you love. So they're saying while love can be a beautiful emotion, it is equally a form of energy that propels you through life. And that is what that sacred energy of the flame, the sacred flame of heart is about. Allowing what you love to propel you through life instead of what you've gone through to keep you stagnant and stuck. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.